Hello everyone, I'm Paul Ferguson. With me is Richard Beaupre. Welcome once again to the World Ice Hockey Championships in Finland. This time we are live and we are in Turku. We have an excellent crowd for this game between the USA and Latvia. The Latvians in the dark jerseys playing from right to left. Their first time in Pool A, Bopes, and we saw them in the warm-ups. They're relaxed. They've got a fast team and a good goaltender in Petrus Skuda, rather. NHL players, 16 of them with the Americans. They've got the beef, they've got the muscle and the experience.
American hockey seems to be on a roll. A good third-place finish last year. An obvious excellent finish in the World Cup play earlier this season. But the Latvians, for the first time in 58 years, are back in World Championship hockey. They've got a big crowd here, and they've got points to prove.
Sullivan was handed that right behind the goal. Plant is in there too. Plant and Sullivan working in the corner. Shot took a deflection as that came from Klee back at the blue line. Races on, and Klee tries to poke that away. A one-on-one situation with Zarnox working hard at the far end of the rink. Zarnox trying to get it out front. These guys are not going to back down from the Americans. They have international experience. A lot of these guys have been around for a while. Bouncing puck in neutral ice territory. A chance now for Kupax to get his touch. Quick change now for both teams as they get the feel of this big ice surface out there. And that's one thing that the Americans will struggle with probably in the first couple of periods. The size of this ice. NHL players play on a much smaller surface.
Well, they're a big physical team as well. There'll be a lot of adjustments. The teams will both be changing the lines very quickly. They'll be feeling each other out. And like you said, Paul, getting adjusted to this ice surface.
Roloff got that up to the far side, and the Latvians keep it in. It's punched out, and we have a 2-on-3 situation, closing down to a 2-on-4 situation now. McInnes fired it to the far side, wants a return pass on this side. Krieger waiting in the corner. Krieger, McInnes looking to get something going, and it's popped to the near side. A chance now for number 7, Skratsinch, and we're going to struggle at first. I know with these Latvian names, they're all about 3.5 miles long, and they don't pronounce them the way they look. So please bear with us. We'll try to get you the names as they come up. They've got some great hockey players on this team. They would like to have Ozelinch and Artur Zerbe. A chance now, and it was almost the first goal for the Americans.
Chris Drury getting the touch, a good save.
Skudra coming up big, dropped right in the deep end right here in the first few seconds of this first period. Back to the blue line. Popped in there. Zavinch got a piece of it. Both teams still trying to settle down in this hockey game. That comes out, and it's poked out of the zone with 2:41 gone on the first period. Long pass through is offside, and we'll have a face-off in Latvian territory. No score in this hockey game.
Tom Askey in the American net going for a skate, trying to loosen himself up. He has just watched his counterpart, Peteris Skudra, make a nice save in the Latvian goal. Couple of good passes by the Americans. Tansel now on the American lineup, getting himself on the ice. Chris Drury was the guy earlier in that shift that got a touch on the puck.
Semyonovs gets set for the face-off. That's one taken back to the blue line. The shot comes in for Berard. Bounces off the backboards, tapped along the boards again. The Americans setting it up nicely. These guys haven't spent a lot of time with each other. Shot coming in from a sharp angle. Krieger got a piece of it. That took a deflection. Back behind the net, Marinucci tries to get it out to Krieger. We have a 2-on-2, a 4-on-2 situation now coming up. The Latvians getting over that blue line a little too quickly. Wow, that's no way to finish off a play.
No, Semyonov's going offside. It gives me a great opportunity to try and get that name in straight away. I'm glad he went offside this early in the game so I can try and pronounce that. Number 27 he is, and he's the man offside. I won't try it twice on the name.
Face off just outside the USA blue line. 3:14 gone on the first period. No score in this. It's been fast First game of the tournament for both these guys, both these teams. And it's a long tournament. Remember, only the top 3 in each group qualifies, so there's no way you can stand around in this competition. As we said yesterday, when the Finns were playing some good hockey, there's no way you can relax. And the shot's by the target. Goaltender with a rebound coming back. There's a penalty, and it's going to be against the Americans. Askey being threatened at the far end of the rink, with Vito Lynch applying a little pressure out there, but the first penalty of the hockey game against the Americans.
Sarnox and Vito Lynch are the 2 key players for the Latvians up front. They both have great offensive skills. They showed great speed on the play. The Americans were desperate to get back defensively.
Askey reacting very slow to that rebound. .344 the time of the penalty to LeChance.
LeChance in the box for interference. The Americans will want to stay out of penalty trouble. The Latvians move the puck around nicely. They've got experienced players out there to move the puck around with this man advantage.
Snarox gets it back, stole that from Sullivan. Sayes fires that in along the boards. Americans chop it out. A chance now for USA with Plant. Plant trying to work it down the left side. Coming back quickly. Latvia unable to cross the blue line. A little pass, a giveaway now. A chance for USA. Shot right at the target. Dan Plant didn't make the most of that. He goes to the bench as the Latvians somehow almost give it away and then come up with a puck just outside the blue line. McInnes. Long clearance. Skudra. Kupax. Cyprus, nice little move. Fires it over onto the right-hand side. Everyone moving up, hitting the blue line. And a giveaway. Nice little clearance by Donato.
The Latvians aren't a very big team, but they really move away from the puck. They've got a good flow going. Marty McInnes, quick forward for the Americans, will show his speed in this penalty-killing situation.
Hendrickson almost stealing that right in front of the nets. I'm sure Skudra will have words with his boys at the end of this shift. Hey, don't play with it right in front of the net. And again, another almost stolen puck out there, if you can use that in the English language. But they're coming close. Instead of throwing the puck around, they're trying to dipsy-doodle and get around these Americans, and it's not working.
Well, I just said that McInnes was going to show his speed. He wasn't on the ice 25 seconds, and he went off, and it was Ranheim that jumped on very quickly for him.
Long pass back, and the Latvians now, with 13 seconds remaining on the power play, trying to work it up. Ignatvic. Long pass up onto Sayens. Askey got rid of that. The clearance bounces over the stick at the blue line. Americans back at full strength. Coming up to the 6-minute mark. Long pass up through neutralized territory. Some good forechecking by the Americans as they stop the Latvians cold right at the blue line. Chudinov's got that up and has to grab it again in neutralized territory. Lavinch looks for somewhere to go. That took a deflection. Berard head manning the puck. That'll come back to the blue, and the Latvians keep it in nicely. Ignatvic brought down on the far side. Puck babbles back behind the net. Ignatvic tries to get out front, looking for something to come his way. Loose puck is grabbed by the goaltender. Will have a face-off. Askey will need that. You know, he doesn't have this NHL experience. Baltimore, 22 years old. This is a big event for him.
It is indeed. He's 6 feet 2 inches tall, 185 pounds. He covers a lot of the net. And on that opportunity for the Latvians, Askey had to have eyes in the back of his head. The wraparound attempt was there. There was coverage, but Askey had to get the body in the way.
Balavskis was moving. Ignatvic was moving in even faster. From the corner, the Americans get it as far as the blue, and the bouncing puck is batted away at the last moment by Kupax. Sayes and Kupaks working inside the blue line. Some good little moves out there by the Latvians. Semyonov's almost made something of it, and he was taken off the play at the last moment. USA now trying to string the passes together. 7 minutes gone on the period. Pass comes right out front, and again the Latvians are there. Kupaks got it up. Askey slows it down. McInnes calls for it. It goes in the opposite direction. USA now with 3 players hitting the blue. Latvians in a hurry, get it out. USA slowing it down. New legs coming out there for the Americans as Brashear steps on the ice. Bit of a traffic jam in front of the bench as the Americans try to change their personnel. Sullivan goes back deep. Klee. Sullivan winds it up on the far side of the ice, clears it up, and that'll be grabbed by Atinsas. Sullivan tried to get a handle on that, and again, Latvia throwing the puck around nicely. Didn't connect on that. 8 minutes and 8 seconds gone as USA bring it over the blue line and take it deep into Latvian territory. Sullivan wants it in the corner. Sullivan calls for it. Doesn't come his way as Vitolinch got it out of the zone. Vitolinch calls for it, gets the shot away right on the target. Cleared as far as the blue line. A swipe there by Chudinovs. Long pass up and a chance now. Breakaway for USA. Goaltender down, scores! USA with number 8, Don Brashear.
Well, Brashear had a close call at the other end of the ice. One too many moves. The Latvians had stripped him of the puck. The U.S. team was able to clear defensively. As the play went toward the Latvian goal, Brashear then found himself in an offensive situation. The puck was fed ahead very nicely. Dan Plante looking up to Brashear. He goes on the backhand, keeps the puck low. First goal of the game for the U.S.
USA once again back on the attack. That pass goes off his skate. Lavinch got in the way of that. Headmanning the puck through neutralized territory. USA quickly get it back as we hit the 9-minute mark. Off a skate through and over the blue line. A chance now for Cyprus. Cyprus down on the backhand, tries to get it out front. Does. Goaltender goes down, but it's cleared away into the corner. Ranheim getting back in a hurry. Loose puck at the side into that, and the Latvians with the shot well wide of the target. Lavinch let the slap shot go, but missing the net completely. Back behind the net, Kerch. Kerch looking for places to go. Back at the blue line, everyone backing in on the guy. Scores! Chudinovs quickly levels the score. 9:34 of the first period. And just about everyone in this building is standing.
A lot of time. The points had been open throughout the whole shift. They had 1 or 2 good opportunities. The Americans out of position. A lot of time taken. Chudinovs tees that one up. Sends it home through traffic. Askey probably didn't have a good view of that. You can see the traffic in front of him. Goal number 1, and quickly the Latvians have tied the game.
Everyone backing in on the goaltender. The goaltender well out of the crease, trying to cut down the angle and get a good sight of that one, but it wasn't to be, and it's all level. Latvia, fresh from Pool B, are looking like a real Pool A nation right now. Early days, of course, and it's going to take a while for the Americans to settle down. That took a tip. They're saying it was a 2-line pass, but one official signaled no, it took a deflection. I thought it did take a deflection, and the pass was good.
Well, the Latvian coaching staff had the same eyebrows that you did, Paul, on that one.
No, my eyebrows are light. His are dark.
You were frowning, and so are they. They're on the bench. They're still clapping their hands and trying to get the linesman's attention. They didn't believe that was a two-line pass. They thought they had a good break on that one.
And the officials are admitting their mistake by putting the face-off at center. So, hey, we got it right. We'll put that in the history books. Drop pass now. Latvia applying the pressure here in the first period. A high slot area. The Americans coming out quickly. 4 players in neutralized territory. Latvians trying to get back as McInnes was taken off the puck. A 2-on-1 situation. Latvia now. Lasky going down. Number 24, Ignatovic, unable to get a clear shot on net.
I don't know where Ignatovic was actually going. He had a 2-on-1 and he skated at the player he had the 2-on-1 with, took himself right out of the play, and a really good scoring opportunity.
It's a good thing there are boards around this ice rink, or he would have been on his way to Helsinki. We are live in Turku. Maybe somebody should tell him that. Matinsis on the far side, head manning the puck to Semyonovs. Drop pass, another shot coming in. Deflection as that went away. Goaltender coming out to cut down the angle.
Tell you, the Latvians had 1 year in Pool C in '93, 3 years to get in Pool A, but this is a classy act. They really do have a good team. They move the puck so nicely. The Americans are going to have to play better positional hockey. They aren't going to be able to react and try and catch these guys the way they move the puck and give and go.
Another look at this play a moment ago. You can watch the trailer come in, everyone backing in again, but the shot doesn't reach the goaltender. Beers starts it up on the right side. Long pass, and this is a two-liner. And the Latvians won't complain about that, will they?
No, but Todd Krieger is having a good look at the linesman.
Why are the officials always wrong when a call goes against you?
They just are always wrong, let's face it.
It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it. Jeff Jackson is the American coach. Leach is the assistant. Brezhnev is the coach for the Latvians. That goes off the plexi and bounces right down again. The Americans will have another chance at that as Beers taps it over onto the left side. Bladskis tried to move that, and a giveaway there by Semyonovs. U.S. going deep into their own zone with 11:20. Beers trying to start things up for USA. 11:20 gone on the first period. That goes over Boldetsko's stick, and we have another call for offside out there. And another change of personnel for both teams. It's early on in the tournament, and we have to remind our viewers that these guys have been playing a lot of hockey this year. No matter where you are in the world, it's a long hockey schedule. It usually starts about August, September. We're now hitting May, and these guys are still playing hockey. So the shifts out there will last about 30, 35 seconds. They realize that it's going to be a long tournament, win or lose, and they're going to be around for a while. Everyone losing sight of that puck as it bobbled high. Pretty good crowd here in Turku, Bopes, but we see a lot of Finnish and a lot of Swedish support here.
There seems to be a lot of Finnish people here, period. You'd think that you'd think we were in Finland here, I don't know.
Right in front of us, we have a lot of Swedish support. We're going to be bringing you the Swedish-Canada game tonight. That'll be live on Eurosport, so stay with us. That'll be a big one, an all-important game. They're all very important, but that one in particular, no love lost between those two teams. A lot of talent on both sides. Back to the blue line, a chance now. USA, the shot coming in from Ken Klee. Skudra was there, saw it all the way.
The shot wasn't low. Skudra got the deflector glove on the initial shot and was able to contain the rebound and keep it close enough to himself so that the Americans couldn't have anything to do with the rebound opportunity. Good save, good coverage. Latvians all around the area. Both teams are communicating with each other. It is their first game. They're trying to get the bugs out of the system. It hasn't been very physical. Both teams have gone for a good skate in this first period so far, and they are communicating with each other.
Brashear out there trying to move bodies. The puck along the near boards as that's cleared away by Znarox. Klee, the return pass. The shadow coming from Vitalinch. Long pass through neutralized territory. The second attempt, Plant gets it. Plant is manhandled along the boards by Shudinovs. Shudinovs got the first goal for Latvia. Clutching and grabbing by Brashear on the far side of the rink, and the Latvians bringing it up. One of the big questions will be, can the Latvians take the physical pace of the American team? The Americans playing in North America play a physical kind of game. A lot of these Latvians have played in Europe. One or two have played in North America, but they won't be used to the physical kind of game that the Americans are going to dish out. Having said that, that was a great check there from Lavinch. Long puck along the boards, the far side of the rink. Roloff taken out of the play nicely, and the Latvians are making me eat my words out there as they apply the muscle and the pressure. Penalty coming up against USA. The goaltender Skudra is going off as the extra attacker is thrown out there. Cross-checking is the call.
The Roloff will go to the penalty box for that cross-checking infraction. It's not a question really of whether they can take the physical abuse, but will the Americans, as they're dishing out the physical stuff, be able to be disciplined enough to stay out of the box? They don't want the penalties. And the Latvians on that last shift, I don't know if we're wired into the Latvian bench or not, Paul, but I think they heard you mention physical play. They threw 2 or 3 good hits. Cyprus on that occasion got a good piece of roll-off.
I'm not too sure about that penalty on roll-off. That was just another day at the office for most teams. A little push from behind, perhaps, on Cyprus from roll-off, but I don't think it was too serious. Obviously, the officials saw it differently. Petra Bolina is working out there along with Polyakov and Lauf on the lines, and they're calling it as they see it, and they're not going to listen to us, that's for sure. And I'm sure if I'd been hit from behind like that, I'd want a penalty.
I was just going to say, I was trying to see what kind of stick Roloff was using, so we know what Cyprus's back will say when he comes out of the shower after the game.
It'll probably say Easton or something like that. Long clearance in. LeChance gets it out of the zone in a hurry. Skudra fans on the clearance, lost it at the side of the net. Oh, what was Skudra doing? He really was out to lunch on that. Balavskis slams on the break. Long pass is a high one. That comes back to the blue line, and the Latvians throw the puck around, but some of the passes are a little high off the ice. Scratchins wants it back at the blue. It's not going to come his way. Some good work in there by Ignatos. USA trying to golf it out of the zone, and they do.
It wasn't done very easily, though. It was hard work, and they changed very quickly.
Skudra doesn't look like he has the stick handling skills that the goaltenders in the NHL would have, that's for sure. Goaltenders are not supposed to skate down the ice and score goals. We have too many men on the ice out there. I was about to say goaltenders are not expected to go down the ice stick handling and scoring goals, but they are expected to handle a puck when it comes in their own zone. And we've seen 1 or 2 misfires now from Skudra, and we're going to see a penalty against the Latvians for having too many men on the ice, and that was called by the linesman right in front of us.
There's a simple answer to what Skudra's tried 2 or 3 times, and that is stay in your net.
You just love it, don't you, when the goaltenders go walkies?
I do. It has nothing to do with our personal relationship, but it's nice to see a goalie that looks like a fish out of water doing that, and then you trying to defend him a little bit, at least.
Andres Ignatovic sits in the penalty box for 2 minutes. 37 seconds on the American penalty. Roloff still in there for cross-checking. 14:29 the time of this penalty to the Latvians. Tembeas. Shot comes in through the circle. That took a deflection. Long pass up the middle is a good one as Senyen's got the pass up. And again, Askey is kind of slow to get back to the far side of the net. Some quick rebounds, I must admit, coming off these backboards. chopped in there by Chudinovs. And USA now come out quickly out of the zone. It's a 4-on-4 situation out there. It'll now become a 5-on-4 as the Americans set it up with a man advantage. USA are caught on the line change. Drop pass, shot, goaltender down. And Vitalinch let the shot go wide of the target. And the USA now coming back. Oh, great goal! Great goal on Berard, but I think he's injured out there. He hurt his hand, and they're calling for assistance from the U.S. bench.
Not a good looking injury for Berard. He is in extreme amount of pain right now, a very extreme amount of pain. It appears as though he's either jammed his wrist or his thumb. Superb move. He walked right through the defense, put the puck on the backhand. Nice goal right on the ice. As he crashed, he went down on his hand.
Power play goal just as Roloff stepped on the ice.
The Americans don't want to lose Berard. He's a player to watch. 20 years old. First overall pick in the entry draft to the NHL. Only the third U.S. player to ever receive that kind of status.
A moment ago, the whole thing almost backfired, Bopes, when Roloff skated right from the penalty box to his own bench and left the far side of the rink wide open. It gave the Latvians a chance to go down. They blew the shot. The U.S. came back with a full squad, a 5-on-4 situation out there, and picked up the goal. But it could have gone the other way. Goaltender out to slow it down. The Latvians are back to full strength. 15:42 gone on this first period. Bouncing puck on the far side. Donato tried to get a handle on it. Krieger feeds it back to the blue. Long shot well wide of the target. Krieger gets in there in a hurry and feeds it to the near side. USA trying to set it up. Krieger and Donato. Donato sharp right out front. Oh, that was nice. Good stuff between McInnes, Krieger, and Donato. Krieger, goaltender knocked back, and the net comes off its moorings. And the official right away says outside the zone.
Well, defenseman Cyprus had his hands full trying to contain Marty McInnes. A good spell by McInnes, Krieger, and Donato. Good work, McInnes right in front of the net. Marty McInnes was involved in that trade earlier in the year that sent Robert Reichel to the New York Islanders. McInnes now a Calgary Flame.
Three minutes and 42 seconds remaining in this first period. 2-1 USA. Leading Latvia. Goaltender made a bit of a meal of that one as Drury fed it in. Tapped over to the far side by Levinch. Clearance goes back to the blue line. It's trapped in nicely. Hendrickson goes after it. Chudinovs slows it right down. Long pass. Bounces over the red line. Goes the distance. The officials wave off the icing call as Martin gets back for it. The Americans now with 4 players coming up to their own blue line. The Latvians trying to get back in a hurry. Everyone crossing that blue line. The shot coming in. Upstairs was that shot from 24 Beers. Latvia moving up quickly. Semyonovs. Pass out front and is intercepted nicely by Beers. Cleared out of the zone. 2 minutes 45 left on the first period. Chudinov head-manning it to Senyins. Latvia and USA changing again on the fly. Kupaks getting it up on the wing. 5 players for Latvia hitting the blue line. Shot, great save! Backhander comes in, cleared out the slot area, and Tansel got it away. Is Ignatovic got the shot away. Tansel lets the shot go on a 360. Tansel picks it up again from the hash mark, skippered right out front, and Hedeken tried to clear it in front of the net from the far side of the rink. Brashear and Tansel, 8 and 9, muscling in the corner, unable to hang on to that as it's pumped out with less than 2 minutes on the period.
Tansel, who's just come over to join the American team, seems to have a good understanding already with Brashear.
Hedekin slows it down as the Americans go through another change out there. Long pass goes off a stick. Matsins. Senyins doubles back, looks for places to go. Shot from the side of the net. Spin around, and that shot just doesn't come as Skretsinch tried to get it away. USA now coming up quickly. Plant flips it over onto the wing. Plant goes after his own pass as it's collected and pushed up into neutral ice territory by Pavlovs, coming up to the final minute of the first period. Long shot, Skudra went down, didn't get a touch on it. Bouncing puck comes along the boards to the near corner. 1 minute now left on the period. Znoraks. Shot right across by Vitolinch. Goaltender went back and down as that went through the crease. Offside is the call there.
Ted Donato going over the blue line before the puck could catch up with him. Vitolinch on the last shift for the Latvians, showing his skill. He's a big, tall guy with a long reach. He handles the puck very nicely. He's had 2 or 3 shots in this period. He's one of the snipers up front for Latvia. Both teams are really starting to find their stride. It's been a very quick first period.
Ignatovic moving in closely, and again we see the U.S. defense backing right in on the goalie.
Well, they've really got to be taking the body and stopping and starting because the Latvians have such great skating ability. They can slam the brakes on or turn in a hurry and go the other way. You can't let them go.
33 seconds left on this first period. 2-1. USA leading Latvia. And again, the big question will be, can the Latvians go the 3 periods with the stamina and speed of USA? Interference call right at the end of this period. Kerch goes to sit for 2 with 25 seconds left on the period.
Those types of penalties are created by good, hard-working players just trying to get into the openings and find the puck or get into a spot where they can be in a good offensive opportunity. Kerch just slowed down for a minute. He got caught holding his man up. The referee was right behind him.
Face-off just outside the USA blue line. Power play situation as that's dropped back. Donato working up on the right side. Pass goes up on the left. Donato races in as that bobbles in to the near corner. Bouncing puck along the boards. USA trying to set it up with 10 seconds remaining on the period. And the power play will go into the second period. Couple of seconds now. There goes the buzzer to end the first period. Fast, physical at times, and we've seen some great moves from both teams. Brashear picking up the first goal for USA, Chudinov back for Latvia, and then Berard for USA to make it 2-1. Well, we're going to have more action in a moment from Turku, but right now we're going to go to the Sports Center and Carlton Kirby. So stay with us, but right now it's the Sports Center with Carlton Kirby. We'll be back with USA against Latvia in a moment. Turku, Paul Ferguson here with Richard Beaupre. The teams are now, well, the Americans are out on the ice. We're still waiting for the Latvians. The Latvians trail 2-1 in this, but this is a wide open hockey game. It's the kind of thing we like to see. It's been physical. There's been some good passes, and you have to remember that it's early days for both these teams.
It's a long way to go. Both teams moved the puck around very nicely in the first period. It only got physical a few times, a couple of good hits thrown. The Latvians have shown that they're quick, they're clever, they can move the puck around. And the Americans have shown they've got some good individual skills as well. Brashear going through on the breakaway. Big guy, 6'2", 220, going through, putting the puck away on a deep goal. And then the skills of young Brian Berard coming through. He walked right through the defense. Another deep goal on the backhand, left-hand shot, keeping the puck low. Maybe they've seen something in Skudra that they know they can beat. The two goals were both the same. Good goals for the Americans, but the Latvians are far from out of this game, and they've got a lot more to show.
The Latvians do have a lot of talent out there. One is number 17, the guy who picked up the goal, Chudinovs. At 9:39, he leveled the score, and he really does have a lot of talent. Some big defensemen, and they like to work like the Czechs, like the Russians, with that long pass right up the middle. And every once in a while, they're going to connect, and they're going to surprise a lot of teams.
Well, that's right. They're new to Pool A, but they're not new to ice hockey. They've got a good mix in age throughout their lineup. They got a couple of 22-year-olds, a couple of 23-year-olds. They got a 33-year-old, a 35-year-old. The average age is around 25, 26 years old. It's a pretty good mix of players on this Latvian team, and they're playing all over the world.
Aski at one end, Skudra at the other. Vitolinch and Donato, a pair of 20s, get ready for the face-off as we get set to start this second period here in Turku. This is live on Eurosport, day 2 of the World Ice Hockey Championships from Finland. We hope you're enjoying it. We're going to be right here in Turku and in Helsinki right up to and including the final, whenever that is. And I say that because it's a 2 out of 3 situation this year, totally different. We'll talk you through that as and when it happens, but the final is not just one game. Berard back on the ice, moves it up, feeds it through, goaltender down, the back pass comes up, goaltender back in position, makes the save as Donato got the shot away, but again, that number 6 for USA set things up out there.
Whatever Brian Berard did to his hand when he scored the breakaway goal in the first period, he must have thrown a bag of ice on it between the periods, because he's right back out there for the first shift of this period. He goes right through onto the attack again. Eventually the play came back and Donato got a good shot off. Skudra not able to sit on his heels in the Latvian net right from the drop of the puck in this second period.
It's a power play situation, of course, because that penalty in the first period to Kerch for too many men on the ice is still outstanding, well, at least for another 56 seconds. So the Americans now, with the extra man out there, starting it up. Hedekin throwing it over onto the left side, and the puck slides all the way back to Aski. Donato head manning the puck, and this is good stuff as USA. Krieger letting the shot go. That ricochets off the boards. 30 seconds now on the power play. Berard, rink-wide pass is a good one. Krieger hangs onto that, slows it right down. Hedekin gets back on the blue. Hedekin calls for it, doesn't get the pass. A little fake, some give and go as Donato worked his way towards the net, but it didn't happen. Hedekin wants it back at the blue as Beers. Donato from behind the net. Donato looking for places to go, right up for score!
Camped out in front of the net. Ranheim right there, didn't waste any time. As soon as the puck was on his stick, it was into the back of the goal. The Americans moving the puck around very nicely. Berard with a couple of nice cross-ice passes. The play was finally set up. Donato behind the goal, taking a look. Fed it to one side. Right in front of the net is Ranheim. All he had to do is get his stick on the puck. He managed to do that, and the Americans have a 2-goal lead.
Balavskis unable to slow down Ranheim. Number 9 there. Moves in just a little too late. Tried to get the stick under the goal scorer's stick to lift it up. 1:35 the time of the goal for USA. Roloff feeds it up through, and Skudra gets a touch as the Latvians, now trailing by 2, try to get it out of the zone. Drury, pass in front is deflected away. Beers slides it back in along the boards. Drury lost control of that, and Latvia happy just to get it out of the zone for a moment anyway. Drury winds up, takes the shot, deflected away as Chudinov got in front of it. Little tip back to the blue line, and USA can't keep it in. A 3-on-3 situation as Latvia now come back in a hurry and try to sort themselves out. Tambiev's dumped on the far side, and the Americans move it along the boards, but it's that guy Chudinov again who ties things up. Ranheim is there too. The officials say move it, but the players say no, and the whistle blows with 2:33 gone on the period.
John Roloff with a good shift, throwing his weight around, a couple of good checks, keeping it tight along the boards. Ranheim making his way slowly to the American bench. He's just picked up that third U.S. goal. Donato and Krieger instrumental in setting that one up.
Martin goes along the boards. That took a deflection. Sayez gets it off the boards, and Latvia now coming back with 4 players hitting the blue. Offside is the call, as that took a deflection at the last moment. Face-off comes out of the American zone. 2:49 gone on the period. 3-1 scoreline out there. USA extending their lead right at the start of this period. And now their strength beginning to tell. Goaltender out, slows that down for Hedeken. Hedeken to Martin. Martin along the boards. The pass eludes Marinucci. Goes deep into the zone. Sayez. Martin taps it back into the slot area. Latvia eventually pounded out. Balavskis on the far side loses control, and the U.S. showing their power skating along the far side of the rink, getting back in a hurry. That bobbles away from Semyonov. Semyonov on the far side. Rink-wide pass, and the Latvians now passing it through neatly. A giveaway there by Semyonov, and a return now by Plant. Goaltender with Plant on his doorstep, looking for the wraparound. Brashear muscling with Plant out front, and the goaltender trapped that one.
Close call again around the front of the Latvian goal. Brashear involved on the play. No stranger to the rough stuff. He tries to wrap around in the end. He momentarily had a point man wide open and calling for the puck. Tries to go short side, gets the extra stick in, and then says, hey, try and do something about it, as the Latvians came to the rescue of their goaltender. Brashear, 6'2", 220 pounds. Second leading penalty getter for the Vancouver Canucks this year, 245 minutes in penalties.
Pavlov's was right there to stop him from coming out front, and then decided to double back to pick up the man in front of the net. That almost cost him. Klee. Scratch cinch. Gets back, but Skudra is there to hang on to it. And forcing the face-off with 4 minutes and 8 seconds gone in this second period. Well, it's obvious what's happening here. These guys can see themselves up on the big screen above center ice. Everybody likes to be on television. This is a lovely arena here in Turku. Just a bit smaller than the magnificent arena just completed in Helsinki. That's a little over 13,000. And it's brand spanking new. This one has been around for a while, but it certainly is a magnificent place to play hockey and to see hockey. Not a post in sight. Everyone has a good seat. 4 minutes, 17 seconds gone on this second period. Face-off in neutral ice territory. The pace of this second period has just slowed down a little bit. I think both teams realize they have a long way to go in this tournament. Donato tries to pick that back. It didn't happen. Cyprus up onto the left wing. USA with Berard on this side. Berard starts it up. This guy likes to move the puck. Head manning the puck, going in after, looking for something loose. Krieger gets the shot away, and that trickles through the crease back behind the net. USA working it down on the far side. Drop pass in there for McInnes. McInnes feeds it back, looking for the loose puck in front with Donato. The puck eluded him, went behind, and back come 3-4 Latvians. Kerch got it out front. Shot went off the post right in front. Kerch tries to get a backhand, drops it back. The shot deflected away. Penalty coming up. It's going to be against the United States. The goaltender again off the ice as the extra attacker jumped on for the Latvians.
Bob Beers knows he's the man that's going to get called for the penalty, and he's just going straight to the penalty box, cross-checking the call for just a couple of seconds, and nearly enough seconds to cost the Americans. They looked unorganized and confused in their own defensive zone. The Latvians had a quick break. They put pressure on. Big hit from behind. That's where the penalty occurred. But the coverage just wasn't there, and Kerch cruised right into the slot, got a good shot away.
Cyprus and Kerch were buzzing all around that net for Latvia. Beers goes to the box at 5:08. Power play now for the Latvians. And we've had a change of goaltender. Klodanch is going out there for Latvia.
Well, that's real nice of the Latvian coaching staff. Just when we got comfortable saying Skudra, that wasn't such a difficult name, they throw Klodanch in there, which, well, isn't too bad, but it's another one to try and get used to.
Why?
I don't know.
No, why did they change their goalie? Not because we were getting used to the other guy.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. I was with you on that one.
Skudra looked, except for his puck handling skills at times behind the net, he looked like he was doing okay. Nevertheless, Klodanch is in there. Maybe they just want to give everybody a chance. That puck ricochets all the way down the ice past Kupaks. Sayez. Long pass up through to the blue line. And the Latvians now trying to set it up with Vitalinch. Vitalinch feeds it over. Sayez got the shot, deflected away. Ranheim goes after his man, as does Klee. Ranheim forcing his man high, and you're going to see this from the Americans, as you will from the likes of Russia, Canada, and the Finns. They do not sit back in the box like you'll see the French and possibly the Germans do. They force these guys right out to the boards and beyond if they can. 5 Latvians hitting the blue line. Lachance bangs it off the boards, goes after it himself. That's trapped nicely. Lachance can't hang on to it. Klee picks it up, takes it for a little skate, bats it off the plexi, and that gets beyond Kupaks. Long clearance goes in. Lachance with a second chance gets it out over the zone. USA going for a change of personnel out there. 44 seconds on the power play. Plant doing the forechecking for USA as Latvia now with a broken stick on the ice come streaming up to the blue line. Drop pass. Backhander goes in. Number 14 trying to get the shot away. Player in the crease with Tamievs sprawled in against the post, so nothing would have happened there had a goal been scored.
Couple of clever moves. Ignatovic coming in with a puck. He is fast, speedy. He was creating problems as he entered the U.S. zone. A superb defensive play by Chris Tanzel. He came back from the top part of the box, lifted the stick of Tamievs just when he thought he was going to get a crack at the rebound as the puck laid there. Good play by Tanzel.
Face-off comes outside the zone because there was a Latvian player in the crease. Donato is there for USA, but that's kicked away from him by Senyens. LaChance up to Donato. Donato goes in on the left side. Drop back, and USA, the long pass to the far side. Klee rockets that in, and the goaltender gets his first touch. Klodanch. I'm going to keep saying that as many times as I can to get used to saying it, because he's out there in place of Skudra. Bouncing puck to the far side, and USA are back at full strength with Bob Beers getting back on the ice.
Very quickly, 5 Americans off the ice, 5 fresh ones on. The whole line and defense decided to change together.
Martin working hard on the far side. Marinucci's pass up is good. Tansel now. Tansel looking to drag it through. He does. Can he get the shot away? Good little move there by Tansel as he went down and created a nice one-on-one situation.
We're seeing a lot of good individual skills in this game already. Holding the call going against the Latvians. It was Tansel's effort that made that penalty happen. Good stuff, couple of moves through the legs, trying to be cheeky with the defenseman. Pushes the puck around, comes onto the inside. The grab is there, just enough to take Tansel off the puck.
Scratchen sits for 2 at 7:35. She said there's the hold. Berard breaking right in. I like the way this guy plays hockey. He's everywhere.
Berard sniffing around, a defenseman who loves to get involved in the offense.
Officials taking a bit of time to get this face-off underway.
I mentioned earlier, Parl, about Berard. He scored a goal in this game already, and he's only the 3rd U.S.-born player to have been chosen first overall in the NHL entry draft. The other 2 players being Brian Lawton in 1983 and Mike Modano in 88. And Modano has established himself as a superb player in the NHL. We might see more from Berard as time goes on. He's very young, 20 years old, and seeing action with the New York Islanders.
They're going to do that face-off again. Just a couple of seconds gone on the penalty. Ranheim out there on the power play situation. Fed along the boards. Berard unable to get a handle on that, and the Latvians now coming up quickly. Berard goes over to the far side, takes his man out, and 1 or 2 Latvian supporters calling for a penalty as Ranheim comes up. Ranheim hits the blue, stops along the boards looking for Brashear, and Berard along the boards on the near side. Puck is frozen. The officials say, get it going, and they do. Rink-wide pass as the Latvians slow it down, find an opening up the middle. Husky clears it out. Hedeken starts it up in a hurry. Pass right up the middle, goes the distance. Clearance is not a good one out of the zone by Shudinov. Comes all the way back, and Drury tried to get a handle on that. Back to the far side, Berard. USA with 59 seconds on the power play. Brashear worked his way into the corner and handed off to Ranheim. Shot from back of the blue line by Berard, and that's deflected wide. Loose puck of the blue line, that comes out of the zone, and that'll take the pressure off for a moment for the Latvians as they try to get fresh players out on the ice. 39 seconds on the power play. A giveaway there, a chance for Vitalinch. He squeezed out of the play nicely. McInnes head manning the puck. Donato waits for a little support, tries to flip it across, and he does. Back pass to the top of the circle. USA sorting it out. All the way back to Klee. Goaltender down. Loose puck through the circle. 15 seconds on the power play.
Klee had the right idea. He let the shot go quick, low and hard from the point. It went through traffic.
Krieger. Drop pass. Krieger calls for it behind the net. He's got LaChance back at the blue line, and the Latvians are back at full strength. We're coming up now to the 10-minute mark, the midway point of this second period. It's a 3-1 scoreline out there. The Americans are leading the Latvians. This one is live, and the Latvians coming back in a hurry. A chance now, shot right on the target. Goaltender out in a hurry as Ignatovic got the shot away, and it looked like he had all the room in the world out there.
Ignatovic has had 2 or 3 good opportunities in this game. He's very quick up front.
Here comes another opportunity now. Penalty coming up against the Americans as Balavskis was taking the shot. There was an interference call in neutral ice territory. Balavskis worked his way down the right side, but the official saw what was going on with Donato behind the plate.
Donato was off the puck and had taken his man out. He's the guy that gets the interference call. But again, good individual skills. Velasquez going to the spin around move, going on the backhand as he got near the American goal.
10:15 the time of the penalty in this second period. Interference the call. Face-off in U.S. territory, and again we see a shuffling of the players out there as they try to work out who's going to go out on the ice. Drury. Sullivan, rather. Long clearance away by Beers. Sullivan winning the draw for USA. Matsins. Little pass as the Latvians work it through neutral ice territory. Everyone camped along the blue line. Little pass through by Balavskis. Intercepted nicely by Beers. Beers can't get it out. Back to the blue line. Long pass goes out of the zone. Matinsons gets the return pass, and Latvia will have to start it up again. 1:23 on the power play. Crossing the blue line is Kerch. This could be dangerous as the Latvians close it down. Goaltender down. Shot. Goaltender down well before the shot as Cyprus was trying to get it away. That took a deflection from close angle. Great save by the goaltender. Beers eventually backhands that out of the zone, and the Latvians are getting in close and getting the shots away.
Finally, Kerch let a one-timer go. The Latvians a little bit guilty of saying, you shoot, no, you shoot. They moved the puck around, ended up not getting a good shot away when they had a couple of clear opportunities.
Ranheim moves it along the boards, gets a little stick from Pavlos. Pavlos digging for that, eventually got it out to the red line. Vitalinch got it back. The return pass from number 3, Kupacs. Vitalinch floats that to the far side. Goaltender across. Another shot comes in. Goaltender pounces on it, makes the save. And this is good stuff from the Latvians. They have 27 seconds on the power play. Vitalinch setting that up with a soft pass to the far side of the net.
Well, you can see what the Latvians are trying to do. They overload one side. They look for that off shot that's camped out down low and open 2 or 3 times during this man advantage situation. Pavlov's over there all by himself, had the right arm all teed up. He was ready to go when the puck came his way. He didn't waste any time. Askey showed that he is quick. He got to that post in a hurry.
Once again, Vitalinch setting it up. .27 seconds remaining on the power play for Latvia. Snaraks scoots that over to the far side, and the Latvians with a shot right on the target. Goaltender again grabbing that, no real trouble on that one. Kupacs fed it through, but there was no steam on the shot.
Snaraks trying to get a piece of the rebound. He went crashing toward the net, but it wasn't going to happen. Askey had a hold of the puck and was never going to let it go.
Snaraks again winning the draw. Latvia throwing the puck around nicely now as it comes over to Sayez. Sayez pushes that in over the red line, pumped away from number 11, Snaraks. Bouncing puck on the far side. LaChance's clearance bounces right back to Snarak. Snarak stick handling nicely, gets away from LaChance, drops it back. The Americans are back at full strength. And they shoot it down the ice. The icing whistle blows with 12:22 gone in this period, and we've seen a great spell from the Latvians as they apply some pressure and bring themselves back in this game.
Snarak's now making his way off the ice, shaking his head. A good shift by him. Last year he became a national hero in Latvia. The Latvians needed a tie against the Swiss. He's the man that scored the goal that gave him that tie and pushed him into Pool A.
Whatever happened to the Swiss? Well, I can tell you, folks, they will be back next year because the World Ice Hockey Championships are going to be held in Switzerland. So they coincidentally have decided to extend the Pool A to 16 teams, and one of those teams will be Switzerland. Hey, you can't have a tournament without a local team in there. So the Swiss will be back, along with Belarus, who will be promoted from Pool B this year. And we'll have a tournament to see who else will be coming up, because we need 16 teams, not 12 as there is now. Shot, goaltender down in the net. 12:41, the time of the fourth goal, as the Americans extend their lead here in the second period.
Chris Tansel, being very aggressive, took a shot right around the head. He's shaking his head, trying to get rid of the cobwebs there. He seems to be all right. He's happy that the goal's gone into the net. A breakdown in play. The Americans capitalize very quickly. Tansel goes toward the net, gets enough of the puck to put it into the net, and then put his hand quickly up to his head as he took a little hit from behind.
Martin clears it to the far side. As we get back to the live action here.
Brett Hedican picks up an assist on the goal to Tansel.
Tansel with Krieger, the two of them breaking down the far side. Tansel drops it back to Krieger. Krieger, stick handling nicely, tried to move it through and drop it back to Martin. That didn't work, and the Latvians now coming in quickly. Big check there by Hedican, yeah, getting the body in quickly on number 9, Belavskis. Belavskis out of his depth on that play. Martin feeds it to the far side. Semyonov slams on the brakes, tries to clear it through the circle. He was gunning for Boldetsko. That didn't work. Krieger now picks it up with the blue. Top of the circle, lets the shot go. That bounces all the way around, and the Americans pump it in and go for the long change, the long pass now for the Latvians. Boldetsko. Beers trying to get the stick in to poke that away. Some good stuff coming from the Kivsas. Shot upstairs is eventually pumped away. Cyprus got a piece of that. Hendrickson brings it down, and the play is whistled down with 14:12 gone on this second period.
Hendrickson's momentum carried him over the blue line ahead of the puck as he was tied up with a Latvian opponent. 2 or 3 Americans carried on over the blue line. That created the offside. Latvians trying to get something going offensively. The Americans shutting him down and not really allowing him to get very close to Askey in the American net.
Drury waiting for Hendrickson to sort out his stick on the bench. Hendrickson seems to be okay now. He's had words with the officials on the American bench. Driven in by Roloff. Hendrickson goes in hard. Drury out front. Drury trying to get a stick on that in the far corner. Looking to feed it through to Ranheim. That didn't work. Latvia now passing that through neutral ice territory. Hendrickson and Drury on the left-hand side, trying to double team, looking for places to go. Drury is brought down. Hendrickson picks up the puck. Roloff wants it back at the blue line. It's not going to come as the Latvians now bring the puck up as we approach the final 5 minutes of this second period. Roloff got the stick in there and took it off Majewski. Ranheim, Drury on his own, stick handling, loses that right in front of the net now as we approach the final 5 minutes of the period. The Americans getting a change of personnel. If that pass was touched by a Latvian, it would have been a two-liner. Plant, far side of the rink with Klee. Driven all the way down the ice. The chance is back for it in a hurry. USA now starting it up slowly. It goes off an official. Sullivan tries to pick it up along the boards. USA now hitting it through. Brashear squeezed out of the play, but he has the last say in that. Chudinov didn't like the way he was pushed into the plexi, and I don't blame him. US trying to set it up. Sullivan backhands that in over the red line. Plant. LeChance trapping that along the boards. Little help there from Sullivan. Plant dumped behind the boards, and the Latvians love that, but there's going to be a penalty on the play.
Brashear without his helmet quickly into the rescue. A big hit by the Latvians. The penalty was going to be called. A little bit of confusion now as to will the Latvians be joined in the penalty box. Elbowing the call. Brashear going in to help out his teammates. Said that earlier. He had 240 minutes in penalties this year with the Vancouver Canucks. He's no stranger to the rough stuff.
The Latvians still haven't sent anyone to the penalty box. Now Vitalinch skates over slowly. 3 minutes 42 seconds remaining on this second period. Another power play situation for the Americans. Lavinch with the big hit. Vitalinch has been given the penalty for elbowing, but he wasn't near the play.
Well, look what the screen says on the score clock. Elbowing or kneeing. They're not quite sure what they want to call there. There's a little difference between your elbow and your knee.
Maybe he was standing on his hands at the time.
And there's also a little difference between number 2 and number 20.
No wonder it took so long for him to get to the penalty box. He was having a cup of tea at the time of the call.
I was just going to say that, Paul. I think he was sitting very comfortably on the bench. Number 20 goes to the box for number 2's penalty. That'll simplify it for the viewers.
But not for us. We're still totally confused. 3 minutes left on the period. USA apply the pressure out there. Donato looking for the return pass, gets it in the corner. Donato along the boards, gets it all the way back. Klee lets a shot go, and the goaltender out of his net finds an opening and flips it high down the ice. Klee chopped that up. Shot from Donato, backhand, spins around. It's cleared away by Matinsis. One-timer right in front from McInnes. No one there at all to pick him up. It's a shooting gallery out there. McInnes feeds it in, looks for the give and go. Another shot goes in. And the puck bouncing all around that goal as Hedekin now gets it at the hash marks, gets it in back behind the net. And the Latvians want a whistle out there. They look tired and they look disorganized. Hedekin got it in. Berard wants it back at the blue line. McInnes fed it over. Loose puck chopped away, and eventually it cleared down the ice, and there's a rush for the bench for both teams.
The Americans setting things up nicely. Marty McInnes with 2 shots on the play. Good work from Donato, feeding him and buzzing all over the ice, not letting the Latvians clear the zone.
The Latvians now back at full strength as Sullivan shot that in. Krieger tried to get it out front, bouncing puck, and eventually comes out into neutralized territory. 1.5 minutes remaining as LeChance gets it out of the zone, but the Latvians will bring it right back in. Shot right on the target. Boldeski letting it go as he made a nice little move from about 10 feet away from the goaltender's crease. Latvia now throwing the puck around. Cleared right in front, but all the Americans are back. That went off with a skate, a roll-off, as Semyonov tried to get it in front of the net. Long clearance eventually goes over the red line with 55 seconds remaining on the second period.
Well, after the first period, the American coaching staff must have said something about the defensive coverage, because they've really tightened it down in this second period. They aren't giving the Latvians many opportunities. They're covering the points thoroughly in this period, where the Latvians had 2 or 3 scoring opportunities in the first period, and the Latvians scored from the point in the first period. 3-on-3 hockey down low. The Americans are smothering the Latvians out of the play, and they're just not making the going very easy for them at all right now.
Znaroks against Marinucci. Marinucci is now being called off the ice. No, he's being sent back. Tansel's being called off. That's because they had 7 players out on the ice. That's a good reason to take him out.
Well, yeah, it is.
It's early days for the Americans, and they still have to get these lines right.
It'll take time, but they've got a good mentor in Jeff Jackson. The new national coach and senior director is his official title. 40 years old with a great history in hockey. He led Lake Superior State to the university championships a few times.
Marinucci dropping it back. We have 30 seconds now as that puck comes to the near side. USA looking to capitalize with the pressure on, and just a few seconds left in this period. Cleared out of the zone, 2-on-2 situation as the Latvians come back in a hurry. Hedekin trying to get back, a bouncing puck. Penalty coming up as that's taken right back. As soon as USA touch it, the whistle is going to blow. Marinucci gets the touch, and that's whistled down. Roughing is the call. Bolina, the referee, indicates with the forearm that Klee must go to the box with 7 seconds left on the period.
A rough period for Vidulic. He just came out of the penalty box for serving a penalty that he didn't actually create. He gets back on the ice. His next shift out, he's buried into the boards himself. This time being the victim. Vidulic puts his helmet back on, goes for a rest. Klee goes to the penalty box. Roughing is the call.
No, both times he was the victim.
Yeah, that's right.
7 seconds left on the period, and the power play will move on into the third and final period, unless, of course, the Latvians can score. Face-off just inside the U.S. blue line. Donato taking his time because he wants to make sure everyone's in the right position. Znarax is out there to take this face-off. He gets called on to make and take the big face-offs for the Latvians. Cyprus is being told to move away, and finally the referee comes over to get him away, but Hedekin is right on his tail. USA trying to bully that out over the line. Eventually it's shoved down the ice by Donato, and that'll be the end of the second period. Another good period for the USA. Ranheim scoring right at the start of the period, 1:35 gone, and then Tansel coming back with 12:41 gone in the period. It's now 4-1, and we have 20 minutes of hockey, but the Americans are leading the Latvians. Well, in just a moment, we're going to have Sports Center with Carlton Kirby, and then after that, we're going to come back with more action from Turco. So stay with us here on Eurospinner. Sports Center coming up. We'll be back. For the teams to come back out for the third, 4-1 USA. Great period for the Americans.
The Americans really settled down in the second period. Both teams are still skating at a good pace, but the offensive skills of the Americans starting to show. They really applied a lot of pressure, a couple of power play goals in the game, and they're looking pretty comfortable right now.
Break coming up. We'll be right back. The teams are out on the ice. What you're seeing on your screen, is the highlights package put on by local television here. And the score, as you also saw on your screen, is 4-1, with the Americans leading the Latvians. After 40 minutes of hockey, at times it was very, very physical indeed, as again you can see on your screens, there was no backing off from the Latvians, and I like the way they're playing hockey. I don't think they have the depth that the Americans have, or most teams, and we saw this last year with the Slovaks. For a couple of periods they stayed with the Canadians in their first game, but eventually the Canadians walked away from them, and that's going to be a problem with these new teams coming into Pool A. They're here in a blaze of glory, but they don't really have the strength and the depth to stay with these big teams.
I would also question the killer instinct. They seem to have good individual skills. They move the puck around nicely. They play as physical a game as they have to, but they don't really aggressively attack. They sit back. They don't lull you to sleep because they are exciting, but the depth all the way through the lineup doesn't appear to be there a lot, like you're saying, Paul, and I think that as time goes on, it will really start taking its toll. The Slovaks ran into the same situation last year.
Ken Klee is in the penalty box for a couple of minutes. Well, 1 minute 53 to be exact. So it'll be a power play situation, and we're still waiting for the officials to get this one underway. And I have to apologize for the ending of that second period. Just as I was about to speak and say we're going to go to the Sports Center and that we're leaving Turku for the minute, I got a heck of a reverberation in my ear, an echo, and I repeated myself in my ear about 4 times, and I think I said that we were going to Euro Center from Turku in Botswana or something like this, but it didn't come out right, and we're trying to fix that now so we don't get that echo, because when you hear yourself coming back on yourself, it's very confusing. It's bad enough when I have to listen to myself once, but if I hear it 2 or 3 times, then I get really fed up.
Here on that one.
We're set now, 4-1 scoreline. Third period here as the Latvians move from right to left on your screens, and they got the man advantage. What can they do against the might of USA? Long pass up. Zarnox moves into the corner as that pass came back to the blue line and bobbled out over the stick. Long pass up through the middle. Sayez starting things up, wants it back again. Znarox head manning the puck up to the red line. 1:18 left on the power play. Pavlov's having problems getting away from Drury. Sayez, nice little pass up to Znarox. Znarox winds up, takes the shot, rebound out front is cleared away. Znarox goes after that, comes all the way back to the blue. It's pumped right back in by Sayez. The Latvians now looking to get it back. Shot comes in, deflection away, goaltender down, and again as Sayez getting the shot from back of the blue. 47 seconds left on the power play. The Americans now slowly float that in over the blue line, and a bad clearance there gives it right back to the Americans as Hedeken makes his way into his own zone. USA and Latvia making a change on the fly. Weird and wonderful bounce comes out nicely for the USA and throws the Latvians off their track. 24 seconds now. Scratchinch tries it again, gets it over onto the right wing. Turn pass up the middle is not controlled, and the Latvians not making the most of this man advantage out there.
Americans are sealing off the neutral zone. They're not allowing the Latvians to have a good build-up.
Mariachevsky got that in, and USA back at full strength. Klee back on the ice as we hit the 2-minute mark in this third period. No pressure on the US goal from the Latvians on that one. Sullivan gets it around the net. LaChance picks it up, brings it out over the blue, up to the red, back to the blue. Nice little move by LaChance. LaChance looking to get it again. Shot right in there as Sullivan was dancing right on the top of the crease. Tansel got that in behind the net. Big hit there by number 8. Who else but Rashear as he throws his weight around. all over the ice. Brashear tries to slam on the brakes and make a move. Long pass will go all the way down the ice, and that'll be whistled down at 2:45 of this third period for icing.
Well, there are people in the crowd probably taking notes on Brashear. He's one guy to keep your head up whenever you're around him. He's not the smoothest guy in the world. He scored a nice goal to get the game going, but he gets the job done.
Face-off comes back in Latvian territory. Senyins gets set as the Americans with Marinucci will go into the face-off circle. Senyins, Marinucci now are set. And again, we're seeing these guys take a lot of time on this one. Maybe they just want to listen to the music out there. Chance now for Latvia. Coming down on the goal. The shot is scored! Tamjevs makes it 2. With 2:52 gone in the third period. The Latvians are coming back. Quick break from the face-off deep in their own zone.
Tamjevs all the way down the ice with the breakaway. The face-off had been in Latvian territory as things broke down. The Americans are on the chase. Tamjevs picks the top corner, puts the puck very nicely up there, beats the glove hand as Aski tries to get a piece of it.
Aski not happy with his performance on this one, but it was a great shot. Brashear in the corner now, deep in the zone. Brashear tried to drag that through, goes for the hit, gets the hand up on Boldavzesko. Bondrevs slows it down, brings it out in front as Brashear was draped all over him. Tansel goes after his man as that puck is shot deep into the zone. Goaltender well and truly out of the play. Bondrevs took the shot, deflected away. Another shot comes in. But what was the goaltender doing on that one?
The Americans had the better of the play in the second period. They came out quick in this one, but the Latvians have struck with a goal, and it has done something to their confidence. And it's done something to the confidence of the American defense. One man in particular is Aski. He looked very lost on the last shift. He was well out of position. The Latvians had control of the puck and were unlucky not to bury their third goal of the game and really draw close.
The replays are coming from local television, the voices from Eurosport, so we can't tell the people here what to show, but I would have liked to have seen that play with Aski out of position and see exactly why he was doing what he was doing. I just thought he thought the puck was going to be taken by one of his players. McInnes got that out, took a deflection. Krieger went in. McInnes now trying to get a hand on the stick. Donato, the top of the circle. Play taken away from Roloff, and now it's a chance again by number 14, Tamjevs. There's going to be a penalty out there as soon as the U.S. touch the puck. The wraparound does not come. The puck is touched by USA at 4:19, and we have a penalty coming up.
Well, Tamjev must have had a good drink of Gatorade or something between the periods, because he's pumped right up. He's had a breakaway and a goal, and he quickly went right back on the attack. Brett Hedican throwing his man down onto the ice, getting the penalty for the Americans. The grab is there. The result is Tamjev on the ice, but the Latvians with a 2-minute power play. This is a key opportunity for them now, as they have really got things going their way.
Hedican puts his hand in the air as if to say, I didn't do anything. You can see his fingerprints all over the guy's face, and they will be there for the next week, I'm sure. 4:19 gone on this period. 4-2 scoreline. The Americans are still leading by 2, but the Latvians are looking stronger as this game goes on. Sayez got that in. Bondrevs tries to muscle on the far side. Znarax is waiting back at the blue, gets it along the blue line. Sayez gets it into the corner. LeChance gets it up along the blue line. And Henriksen couldn't get it out. Sayez, nice little pass. He does control things from back of the blue line. The bounce on the near side. Sayez fakes the shot, doubles back, gets it over onto the hash marks on the far side of the rink. Sayez way back of the blue, tip in, right in front, goaltender down, loose puck, comes out. And a nice little chip away as we approach the 5-minute mark. Gets it out of the zone for USA, but quickly back up there is Vitalinch. USA struggling deep in their zone, but there's a high sticking call out there as Beers will skate to the bench, or Willie, for attention.
Well, that's if he can find the bench. He took that accidental high stick right near the eye. He's trying to shake it off right now. Pavlovs goes in the penalty box for high sticking. That'll even things up as Hedekin is in the penalty box for the Americans. The U.S. will end up with a 52-second man advantage. Beers going down and in a hurry.
So that evens things up. 1 minute and 8 seconds left on Hedekin's roughing penalty. Beer still trying to shake off that high stick that got him right in the corner of the eye, it looks like. Scratchinch. Kerk. Scratchinch. 4-on-4 situation. Kerch losing it right in front. Eventually it goes to the far side and it's dropped back to Kerch again. Kerch backhanded to Scratchinch. Scratchinch back to Kerch. 1 or 2 dangerous moves out there, cutting in towards the goal, their own goal. The Americans looking to grab something and possibly break down the ice. Roll off. Unable to collect that. Drury trying to get in on the play, and the puck is eventually cleared out with 6 minutes gone on the period. Scratchinch grabs it on this side. Number 7 working up, winds up, takes a shot. Glove down, thrown out nicely to keep the play moving. 3 seconds on the penalty to USA. 49 now on the power play for the Americans as they get back to full strength. USA going to set it up in the zone as McInnes skates around the net, drops it back behind the thing. Krieger moves right in close. Goaltender is down and makes the save as the Americans were completing their change on the fly out there.
The Americans with a man advantage for another 36 seconds are going to try and take the steam out of the Latvians. It's all Latvia so far in this period. They've pulled 1 goal back. And they're still applying pressure. Donato, McInnes, Krieger staying on the ice for the Americans up front.
McInnes against Semyonovs. That comes back and thrown to the far side by Sayez. All the way down the ice. LeChance back first for USA. Up onto the wing, USA now with 18 seconds on the power play. Safely over the blue line. Krieger to the far side of the rink. McInnes, not a great pass from him, and a chance now for Latvia. 2-on-1 situation, going down, goaltender out, good save, another shot, he scored! Valavskis with 3 seconds remaining on the penalty to Pavlos, gets a shorthanded goal. That's turning things right around.
But with the man advantage, the Americans lose that advantage. Krieger had thrown the puck around the boards. McInnes tried to direct it back to the point. That didn't happen very smoothly. The official had a little touch in the neutral zone, but a 2-on-1 opportunity developed for the Latvians. Valavskis going down the ice, taking the first shot, getting his own rebound, and making the most of the second chance he gets. 4-3 to score. The Latvians well and truly back in this game.
It's a good thing Velasquez was there to take his own rebound, because Semyonovs had taken himself right out of the play by going over the red line beside the net. Latvia now back at full strength, really entertaining this crowd, coming in hard. Goaltender save there, loose puck right in front of the net. Eventually cleared away as Pavlov's just got back on the ice and made things happen in front of the net. What a hockey game this is turning out to be. Just when we thought the Americans were going to run away with it, someone cued into our commentary from Latvia and said, hey, listen to what they're saying about us. Let's turn this thing around. USA now with Tansel dropping it back. Marinucci taken out of the play, and the net was taken off its moorings as Marinucci mixes it up with Chudinov. Brashear now moves in to have a word or two. Whenever there's trouble, this guy's not far from the scene. The net is off its moorings, and the face-off will come out of the zone.
Chudinov's without his helmet, still having words with Marinucci. They obviously are saying a few universal things to each other. Marinucci letting Chudinovs know that he didn't appreciate the cross-check. In the end, it was Chudinovs without the helmet. And like you said, Paul, Brashear came in just to say hello and make his presence felt once again.
Just a reminder that we will be live again here in Turku tonight when the Canadians and the Swedes do battle. Whenever they do battle, it really is a battle. A lot of talent on both teams, and we'll be here live. Richard Beaupre and myself, Paul Ferguson, to bring you that one. We'll be back in Turku again tomorrow, and then we move back into Helsinki. So stay with us. We'll be bringing you games from both arenas throughout the next couple of weeks. Znarek's got it over. Scratchinch, long pass to the far side of the rink. The Latvians making and taking advantage of this huge ice surface out there. Really are throwing the puck around nicely. Drury poke checked right at the blue by Matinsins, and the play is whistled down. 8:15 gone as Matinsins and Drury collide ever so slightly. And the officials get in there quickly to keep them apart. Nice job being an official. I like to be a referee. If I had to be anything, I'd be a referee, because he just sits back and takes numbers while the officials have to get in there and put their faces in front of punches. Okay, guys, go in there and break up those two gorillas. Sure. No, thank you. Somebody's got to do it.
The real difficult thing for the referee, though, is after the game trying to come up with different disguises week in and week out to get himself out of the building and off the property safely.
Znarax takes a shot, punched away. It ends up in the corner, and he gets his own rebound. Znarax falls, gives the puck away, and the Americans now with 3 players hitting the blue line. Little pass through, and everyone getting back as Sullivan is dropped down. 1 or 2 players looking to the referee for a call. Sullivan getting a skate on that. LeChance finds himself deep into the zone. Eventually gets back to the blue line. Znarax put it right in front. Shot upstairs. Sullivan got a piece of it. It was a bit too high, and that went off the skate. 1 or 2 high sticks out there as Znarax got it over to the far side of the rink. Big hit on Pavlas as he dropped it back. Scratchins head manning the puck to Znarax. He shoots it all the way down the ice. Roloff. USA now. Long clearance up. Nothing will come of this as McInnes came in looking for a loose puck.
The usual sight of Marty McInnes breaking toward the net. He's very good at skating away from the play and getting himself into a situation where he walks into a zone and the puck happens to be just ahead of him. Brashear trying to feed him. The score tightens up. The emotions come out as well. 4-3 to score now, and every loose puck, every time bodies are going into the boards, there's a lot of physical contact now on and off the puck.
This is live ice hockey from Group B. Group A is over in Helsinki. 6 teams over there in Pool A. The Czechs, the Finns, the French, the Germans, Slovakia, and Russia. Over here is Canada, USA, Sweden, Italy, Norway, and Latvia. And the top 3 from each group will go into the next round. And the final, as I said, will be between the top 2 teams in the tournament, and they'll play a 2 out of 3. I'm not too sure if I like that, but that's what's going to happen. That took a deflection. Weird bounce coming back as Krieger let that fly. McInnes from the side of the net moves out to the boards, taken away from him by Sayes. Donato gets in there with Krieger lying down on the ice. Donato gets in there in a hurry, drops it off, and eventually it's punched away. Beers takes it back into his own zone. Beers just taps it out of the zone. Sayes flips it back as both teams, well, at least the Latvians anyway, try to get fresh legs. There's going to be a penalty out there. Beers is saying no. Another power play as the trip is called against Bob Beers right in front of the American bench.
Beers is saying no. The referee is definitely saying yes. The Latvians will have the man advantage. They're trailing by a goal. They pulled 2 back in this period, and they're going to have another good opportunity here to capitalize. They're talking things over, and they're going to try and tie the score with this two-minute advantage.
9 minutes, 48 seconds remaining on this hockey game. USA leading by 1. Big golf shot goes all the way down the ice as the Latvians set up the power play now from their own zone. Pass left there for Senyins. Senyins leaves it back for Tambiez. Tambiez, who was flying the last couple of shifts, loses control, and that's popped out into neutralized territory by the Americans. Senyins takes it over the blue, gets the clearance through, and eventually it's shot down the ice, and the referee whistles it down. Sensible call. Sorry about that.
Absolutely. Darby Hendrickson in the wrong place at the wrong time. The puck came off a stick right into the face of Hendrickson. Quick stitch job, and he'll be back out onto the ice. The Latvians trying to set things up. Puck went off a stick straight into the face of Hendrickson.
Well, maybe not even a stitch. I think he's going to want to count his teeth when he gets back into the dressing room, though.
That's part of the job of the trainer. He's got
counting his teeth.
Full dental records of all players, and when they come off on a shift like that, it's his job to count the teeth.
Oh, mothers, do not let your sons be hockey players. Plant. Wasn't that a song by Willie Nelson? Or was that Cowboys?
I think he may want to make a remake. You could finish that song off by saying, don't let your sons be hockey players unless you make a nice homemade soup.
Absolutely, because a lot of times these guys have to just eat soup for the next week after the game. Vitalinch was taken out of the play, and again, it's shot all the way down the ice. 47 seconds on the power play. 1 goal in it, 4-3 the score as Latvia now try to apply the pressure here in the third period. Still a lot of time left on this hockey game, but the USA camping out on the blue line stop the Latvians and shoot it down the ice. McInnes forechecking as the Latvians come deep and look for places to go. The drop pass coming up quickly. Cyprus motors on the backhand side. Cyprus looking for places to go, throws it in along the boards. Cyprus gets it up to Ignatovic. Shot comes in well wide of the target. Sayes, who spent a lot of time out on the ice, headmans the puck, and that goes into the corner. Samiev to the near side. USA back at full strength, right out front. Goaltender that scores! Ignatovic moved right in front as the Americans got back to full strength, and whoa, this is a brand new ball game.
Beers had just gotten himself out of the penalty box and into the American zone. The Americans defensively weren't that out of position, but the Latvians just weren't letting them get anywhere near the puck. They were skating and moving all over the ice. They really kept the legs going. The puck went back down low. The coverage appears to be there. One guy slips in behind McInnes, watching from the low slot. The rebound is there, but it's into the net. The setup is there. The shot comes in. Goal number 4. We're at tie game here, 4-4.
Still a lot of hockey left in this game, but what a comeback by the Latvians. And I, for one, am eating my words. A timeout has been called. Each team are allowed to have a 30-second timeout. The word from the American bench has got to be calm down. We still have a lot of time, but we're giving a lot of things away out there. Everyone is backing in on the goal.
You can hear Jackson on the American bench saying we're letting them come in at high speeds. If you give them too much time, we're letting them spread us out. And for God's sakes, if you've got to take the body, stay out of the penalty box.
Well, that wasn't a power play goal, but the situation was that Beers was just getting back on the ice. Goaltender, I think, a little out of it there. He was well down before the shot came in, spreading the pads from side to side, leaving himself open in the middle. Not too sure about that move, but hey, I'm not down there. He is.
I just started saying earlier, Paul, as I was wrapping up the goal, that a rebound had been there. The goalie did appear to be going down a bit quick on a few occasions. He really paid the price on that one when the pass came through to Ignatovic.
Shot to a deflection as that was pumped in by Velasquez. USA now from the top of the circle are on their defensive as they just get it out of the zone. Drury falls but gets it in the corner on the far side of the rink. Scratchins up to the blue line. Semyonov. Offside is the call as Velasquez went over the blue line. Semyonovs was there, and the Latvians, as you would expect, are not happy. A lot of Swedish support for this Latvian team. I guess when you're an underdog, everybody cheers for you. Let's look at this offside call again. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Why are you looking at me? You always want me to make
I was a goalie. I was a goalie.
That.
I didn't have to comment on things like that. But I'm not sure. I don't think that was an offside call.
Very close.
Okay, we'll leave it at very close. Brezhnev behind the bench took over the reins of his team at the last minute. And, well, it looks like he's done a good job to this point anyway. We're coming up to the final 7 minutes of this hockey game. Goaltender gloves that down. LeChance fires it to the far side of the rink, back to the blue line. USA now, 3 players working through neutral ice territory. That gets out of the way. Past Plant, Krieger taken off the play. 3-on-1. Develops into about a 5-on-5 out there as both teams get up there in a hurry. Long shot right on the goaltender. Sayes, who's been out there for most of the hockey game, took the shot from over 60 feet out. No problem for the goaltender. Sullivan drops that back nicely. USA going upstairs. The shot, rebound, scores! 5-4 USA.
Todd Krieger with a big goal for the Americans. The Latvians have had it all their way. Just as we said after the second period, the Americans look comfortable. That one really bit us. The Latvians have stormed back into this game, but now they've given up a goal to the Americans. A couple of good passes. Krieger following up his own rebound makes it count. Good work by Sullivan setting that play up.
Goaltender missed the initial save. He should have smothered it, and then he tried to clear it with a stick by batting it away, and that didn't work. There's the result. .5-4, the USA leading this one. puck behind the net. Beers starts it up slowly. I'm sure they're saying no more mistakes, no more relaxing and allowing the Latvians to get in close now that we've got the lead back yet again. The Latvians haven't had the lead in this hockey game, but boy, they've been there level with the Americans, and they've threatened, and this one has a long way to go. 14-24 gone on the period. Still a lot of hockey left. No one wanted to take that, and 17 gives it right away. That's Chudinov, goes into the corner. Roloff gets it back behind the net. Long clearance out. Gets by Beers and goes down the ice.
Well, it just shows you, Paul, there's something to be said for a coach picking his spot when he wants to call a timeout. Jackson on the American bench called the timeout. He could have taken that 30 seconds to just stand there and stare at the players and not have said a word, and it probably would have had the same effect, because the Americans just needed to have that 30 seconds to stop and think about what they were doing, the silly things that they had given up in the period, and just to get their act back together. They came out after that timeout and really started pouring the pressure back on, and now they've got the go-ahead goal.
Semyonov winning the draw, getting it back to Boldeski. Icing again. We're 9 seconds shy of the final 5 minutes of this hockey game. Face-off back in Latvian territory. This really has been a very entertaining hockey game. I've enjoyed it immensely. We've had 9 goals, some great hits, some great individual moves from both teams, some nice passing. I guess the only thing that really hasn't impressed me has been the goaltending from both teams. And I guess it's an obvious statement when you see 9 goals on the scoreboard, but 1 or 2 moves by the goaltenders have resulted in goals out there, and I don't think they should, not at this level, should have been happening. Semyonovs drops it back. Semyonovs breaks for the net, shot right on the target as Semyonovs moves in, and Kerch was there with the shot along with Mattisson's.
There's still a lot of time left in this game. People that counted the Latvians out after 2 periods had a quick wake-up call. The Americans are in front by 1 right now, but both teams are really getting good shots off. They're not wasting any time going up and down the ice.
Face-off to the left of the goaltender as he looks down the ice. Donato gets that back, and McInnes picks it up on the near side. McInnes, long pass over to the far side, whistled in off the plexi. Goaltender tries to slow it down. McInnes, a little tap forward to Krieger. McInnes and Krieger and Renheim now, or Donato rather. Donato trying to overlap with Krieger. Donato is brought down. Krieger will go in and pick it up and tidy it up. Krieger off the boards to McInnes and Donato. McInnes taken out of the play, and here comes Krieger getting his stick up high, getting the muscle in. That went by Donato, and the Latvians now trying to get it up with Sayes. Pass through to neutralized territory, and Tsipras now shot, glove down. Goaltender doing the intelligent thing out there with traffic coming his way. 4 minutes and 3 seconds left on the hockey game.
Good forechecking from both teams. The Americans applying a lot of pressure on the Latvians. When they did break out, though, they ended up with a good, quick wrist shot. And the goaltender in the American end was forced to make a save of his own. The Latvian goalie has seen the same kind of pressure.
Again, the face-off to the left of the goaltender. And again, the officials allowing the players a lot of time. Semyonov against Drury. Drury winning the battle. That comes right back to the blue line. Shot just wide of the target as Shudikov actually took the shot. LeChance gathers that. Little tap into neutralized territory. That ball goes to the red line. Scratchins collects in the corner. Good little move, and we have some good passing through neutralized territory as the Latvians hit the blue line. Scratchins wants it back here at the blue as he moved in quickly. Didn't come his way. LeChance just bangs it off the boards, and the Americans now recover nicely and try to get it out. Renheim is hit at the blue line, but that bounced over the blue. Hendrickson goes after his man as 9. Belavskis gets it back. Sayez. Snoraks. USA happy just to get it back out of the zone. Several Latvian players trapped in there, and the offside whistle blows. 2 minutes 58 seconds left on the hockey game. And the more often the Americans can get stoppages like this, the happier they'll be, so they can break up the Latvian flow. Face off outside the zone where that puck was shot in from, and again, the Americans take a lot of time to set this face-off up. Brashear moves over onto the left wing. Drury unable to grab it. Bondarevs. Sayez. Vitalinch spun around, had a chop. Vitalinch again gets it back as Sayez helps him on his way. Vitalinch dropping it back into the circle. Sayez deflects that off the boards. That's flipped high over the Latvian bench, and we'll have another face-off. 2:32 now left on the period.
It's all about assignments with this much time left in the game. The players are really picking each other up, especially away from the puck. Little clutching, grabbing, not letting anybody have the bounce that could go their way. Put another goal into the net. The Americans would like to keep the score right where it is. The Latvians just want that one bounce to put them back on level terms.
Znaraks to Sayez. Sayez will get a second attempt at this, but he gets a little help from Znaraks. Znaraks stick handling just outside the blue line. Really didn't have too many options. There was about 10 players, including his own, from out there. That bounces off the plexi and goes all the way down the ice. Bondrevs starts it up from the right side of his net. Bondrevs passes it right through a couple of players, and the Latvians with Znaraks. Znaraks against Hedeken. USA, 2 minutes remaining in the hockey game. Two-line pass is the call, and both teams will now have a chance to complete their changes that they started a moment ago.
Well, the Latvian first player into the American zone is really taking the body. He knows it's his job to make things happen and try and break the American defense down before they can create a good breakout. It's working right now. We're seeing more offsides, two-line offsides, icing calls.
We'll keep our eye on the goaltender for Latvia. That's Klodanch, because he'll probably come out if they can get the opportunity to possess the puck. Deep in the American zone, the Latvians will take off their goaler in order to put on an extra attacker. Roloff got it out. Long pass up to the blue line. Latvians now trying to move it out front. That's not going to happen. 1 minute, 27 seconds on the hockey game. High flip down, bouncing puck, handled nicely by Lavinch. And the Latvians start it up again. Tambievs can motor, goes in, brought down as Beers picks up the puck after the hit. The referee says no. Long pass up the middle, and that had to be a two-line pass. But one or two players out there calling for a penalty. That's not going to happen with this much time left in the hockey game, 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Well, a couple of things exciting the crowd on the play. Beers taking his man out. All the Latvian support here wanted a penalty on it. And then as the pass came out of the American zone, what appeared to be a two-line offside, the linesmen have now talked it over, and they want to call it icing.
Just a reminder that we'll be back this evening here in Turku, live with Canada-Sweden. The place is already filling up with Swedish supporters.
Now the Latvians have called a timeout.
Goaltender still in his net. Well, now he moves off to the bench just to have a word with the officials there. Well, he's actually staying away from the team talk, and he's having a word with Skudra, the guy who started the hockey game.
Well, realistically, he should be making himself comfortable on the bench because they've got the face-off right where they want it. It is deep in American territory. Why wait? Get the sixth man on the ice.
It's all about playing intelligent hockey now, not doing anything silly, not making any crazy long passes. This is the Americans I'm talking about, of course.
You got a minute and 2 seconds left in the game. The American bench, you can hear the coaches barking out the orders. You've got to stay home, stay with your men.
I think the key there is he said everybody's got to stay with their man. These three guys got to stay with their men. Well, I think they're going to be glued to them. You watch this.
Well, it sounds pretty obvious, but when you've got 6 attackers on the ice and you've got guys that can move the puck around as quick as the Latvians, it's easier said than done.
Strange, and you made the point a moment ago. We have a minute and 2 seconds to go. Latvia have the puck deep in USA territory, and the goaltender is still in the net for Latvia. Take him out. What have you got to lose? Znarax is called upon to take the face-off for the Latvians. And this guy is very adept at the face-offs. Sullivan is out there for USA. Znarax, as that comes back, unable to get it, will do it again.
The Americans not happy about that whistle. They thought they had cleared the zone. The officials blowing the play down before the puck was cleared all the way down the ice. Tamiev's anxiously waiting to get on the ice. The linesman came over to the Latvian bench and said, you must keep the gate closed. The coaching staff have the gate off its hinge.
The indication from the linesman was that puck was touched by a high stick. Comes out of the zone. 59 seconds left on the hockey game. The same two will do battle in the face-off circle. It's not as crucial now as the face-off has come away from the American goal. It's still very crucial indeed, but when you're deep in the zone, it's even more important. Znarax finally gets himself set. Sullivan has been there for a while. Latvia. Scratchins gets it over. Clearance in is a long one by Simonov. The Latvians now looking to set it up. The goaltender is off the ice. Tamiev is out there. And for the next 40 seconds, the Latvians will try to apply the pressure. They have the extra man out there. Their net is wide open. And number 14, Tamiev, was almost set free right at the top of the slot. USA now are going to go for the long shot, just wide of the target. And they're saying no icing call out there.
The puck went through the crease. You could hear the linesman yelling. The Latvians aren't happy with that.
Good call. It was difficult to see from here as it was on the far side of the net. Manchiev unable to get a handle on it. Bobbling puck is stopped just before it went to the net. And there goes the buzzer to end the hockey game. 5-4 victory for USA over Latvia. What a comeback by the Latvians. They came back in the third period, but it wasn't enough with that goal by Krieger to win the game for USA. Well, we're going to leave you now, but Slovakia and Russia are coming up. That's a game in Helsinki. Remember, Canada against Sweden tonight. Until then, from Richard Beaupre and myself, Paul Ferguson, goodbye for now.